Okay, we've been talking hormone health, specifically those super underappreciated masters of biochemistry. We call them prostaglandins. Those are the control points for many, if not most, of the activities of a cell. That means they're a control point, a major control point for all degenerative disease. And prostaglandins really are the effectors. They do the work in the body when it comes to nutrition. Pretty much all essential nutrients have some relationship to prostaglandin production or prostaglandin activity. And understanding how these things work is going to be very important. It's going to be critical if we're going to be able to harness and leverage healthy biochemistry and soften, mitigate, reduce, relieve the degenerative disease process. We want to understand how these things work. Prostaglandins and other compounds that are similar, or at least have similar functionality, we'll be talking about those later. These are the worker bees of the body. The body has to be highly responsive to the environment. Hormones in general are the mediating element between our environment and our body and our body's biochemistry. Something happens in the environment, we see something, we hear something, we think something, we touch something, we smell something, we feel something, whatever. Something happens in the environment, or we think something, or we eat something, and a biochemical change is initiated via the activity of hormones, via the activity of prostaglandins, which function as a middleman between the sights and sounds and environmental signals in the body. Hormones and prostaglandins and similar substance are middlemen. The environment hits the middleman, and then a bodily change occurs. That means these things are responsible for how the body responds to the environment. Prostaglandins are automatic in the sense that they respond to an environmental change without the involvement of the brain, without the involvement of glands. So there's an environmental change. You cut yourself, you touch yourself, you smell something, you feel something, whatever. Boom, prostaglandins start to change. Just like that, instantly. This is an amazing phenomenon, and it's what makes the body so exquisitely sensitive to the environment. We see something or think something or have an injury, and instantly prostaglandins are effective and a response is initiated. Instantly. And this instantaneity, this instantness, gives the body its amazing sensitivity. The most important point is that this is all derived from essential fatty acids. This exquisite sensitivity that the body has is ultimately derived from essential fatty acids. You think it makes EFAs important? You better believe it does. Now, I'm always hesitant to say what the most important nutritional supplement is. There's not one most important nutritional supplement. It's like having a baseball team. You don't have a most important position in your baseball team. The third baseman is just as important as the shortstop and the second baseman. You're not going to have a very good baseball team if you're missing any of the 9 baseball players. No matter how good your team is, you're not going to win many games with only 8 baseball players. So it's not like one position is more important than the other. And likewise, in the world of nutrition, it's not like one vitamin is more important than another, or one essential nutrient or one mineral is more important than another. They all work together as a team. However, in many ways, the pitcher can be said to be the most important of the baseball players, or of the guys on the team. It's not like you only need the pitcher, but the pitcher an argument could be made that that's the most important position on the team. Likewise, with essential fatty acids. You're not going to live in a very healthy life if you don't have vitamin C or vitamin E or selenium or sulfur, any of these 90 essential nutrients, but essential fatty acids are like the pitcher. Even though it's hard to argue that one nutrient is more important than another, a case could certainly be made that EFAs are the most important of all the essential nutrients via this connection to prostaglandins and these super important, rapid-acting, instantly acting hormone substances, these prostaglandins. The last program we talked about a really interesting form of essential fatty acid that is really the turn-on point, the juncture where prostaglandins are actually manufactured. And this is a very, very important essential fatty acid. You'll get it in the ultimate EFAs. I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. I also want to encourage you to check out my YouTube videos that I'm doing with my friend Amanda Rideout, health coach, on skincare and essential oils and various subjects. We talked about essential oils last week. If you want to get on the list, send me an email, ben@ksco.com, and just put in the subject heading, I want to be on the list. I want to be on the email list for the videos, for our skincare videos. And there's also a YouTube channel out there somewhere. I'll have to get the information on that. In any case, we do them once a week, myself and Amanda. And I'd love you to check them out. Send me an email, ben@ksco.com, and just put in the subject heading, put me on the list, and we'll get you set up. Okay, so last program we talked about this really interesting essential fatty acid derivative called GLA. It's kind of somewhat essential in the sense that it's a good idea to get it in your system. Your body can make GLA, but a small amount anyway. But it's a good idea to make sure that you're getting enough GLA in a supplemental fashion, and this is one of the more clever moves that Dr. Wallach made. He made a lot of clever moves, but one of the cleverest moves is to stick some borage oil, which is a good source of GLA, in the ultimate essential fatty acids. GLA is like an activated form of omega-6 fats, and then it itself is activated ultimately to form prostaglandins, and this makes GLA very, very, very important for a lot of health issues, especially ones that involve the skin. The skin is probably the most prostaglandin sensitive of all the organs in the body. Certainly it's one of the most, and understandably so, because it's on the outside of the body, so it has to be responsive to the environment. And this makes GLA very helpful for a lot of skin issues. Dr. Wallach formulated a GLA, or formulated the ultimate EFAs and ultimate EFA plus capsules with borage oil, which is one of nature's richest sources of GLA. You get 4 milligrams of GLA per capsule in the plain. The ultimate essential fatty acids, you get 19 milligrams per capsule of the plus. Borage oil contains right around 25% or so GLA. That's pretty amazing. 1/4 of the oil of the borage plant is GLA, and that is really, really amazing considering the stuff is so rare. Other good sources, or okay sources of GLA, include evening primrose oil, black currant oil, but neither black currant oil or evening primrose oil has the GLA concentration of the oil that comes from the borage plant, which is also known as the star flower. Hemp seed oil will get you a little bit of GLA. Barley will get you a little bit of GLA. Other grains have a little bit of GLA in them as well. Spirulina has got some GLA. And as I say, some GLA is going to be made by the body. There's also, these days anyway, a form of a GMO, a genetically modified form of safflower oil, which has been tweaked genetically to produce really, really high concentrations of GLA. Borage is I think it's the highest. I can't think of any other sources of GLA from a natural standpoint. Borage is around 25% or so, as I say, GLA. But the new GMO safflower oil can be around 40% GLA, even higher. Some of it goes up to 60% or more GLA. That is amazing. But then, of course, you're going to be dealing with all the genetic modifications, and you never know when you start modifying genetics. You just don't know what's happening. But you're certainly going to be seeing safflower oil, high GLA safflower oil in nutritional supplements, probably in foods. The company that makes it is a company called Arcadia Biosciences, and they're really making a big push to food processors and supplement manufacturers to use their genetically modified super high GLA safflower oil. The new stuff, as I say, is over, according to the company Arcadia Biosciences, is over 60% GLA. That is astounding. The primary market probably will be nutritional supplements. You can expect to see more and more GLA nutritional capsules that feature this high-tech creation, Frankenstein creation, genetically modified safflower oil. There's a lot of upside to GLA, a lot, especially when it comes to skin health. But because inflammation plays such an important role in the disease process, and because GLA is such an effective anti-inflammatory, pretty much all health conditions, not just skin, all health conditions can benefit from GLA supplementation. Gamma-linolenic acid, for you guys who are chemistry-minded. GLA, gamma-linolenic acid, is important for pretty much every single health condition that involves inflammation, which, of course, is pretty much every single health condition, certainly degenerative health conditions. And this is why the ultimate EFAs are the foundation, or one of the foundations, of the flagship health protocol, Dr. Wallach's flagship health protocol, the Healthy Start Pack. It's anchored by the ultimate EFAs and the ultimate EFA Plus. This whole nature of anti-inflammation and inflammation, both anti-inflammation and inflammation, is really important. And its relevance to the disease process and its relevance to good health is worth spending a couple of minutes on. It's so important, the balance between anti-inflammation and inflammation. The body is constantly balancing things. The body's constantly balancing antagonistic or opposing biochemical processes. So prostaglandins are involved in mediating or controlling anything that happens in the body, and that means prostaglandins are also involved in this balancing process, excitation and inhibition of brain cells. That's an opposing or antagonistic kind of relationship in the body, or a biochemical process that occurs in the body. Excitation and inhibition, and prostaglandins are involved in the excitation and inhibition of not just brain cells, but nerve cells in the body. Same with contraction and relaxation of muscles. Muscles are constantly contracting and relaxing and sort of balance. If they relax too much, that's not good. If they contract too much, that's not good. It's a balance between contraction and relaxation that allows our muscles and us to move appropriately, and guess what? Prostaglandins control this balance there too. Same with dilation and constriction of blood vessels. You don't want your blood vessels opening or dilating too much, and you don't want them closing or constricting too much. And again, it's prostaglandins that mediate or control this dilation and constriction of blood vessels. These are all examples of antagonistic, opposing processes that occur in the body that have to be tightly controlled and tightly balanced to keep us healthy. To this list of contraction and relaxation, excitation and inhibition, constriction and dilation, you can add inflammation and anti-inflammation as another example of a balancing act that has to occur in the body's biochemistry. And prostaglandins here too are critical in controlling this balance of inflammation and anti-inflammation. So you don't have too much inflammation, you don't have not enough inflammation, and you don't have too much anti-inflammation or not enough anti-inflammation. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. All right, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday on the Genesis Communication Network, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7. On our archive page at brightsideben.com. We've got 3.5 years of good health information up at on the archive page at brightsideben.com, or you can go to Ben Fuchs Archive or Ben Fuchs Archives, they both work, .com, and you can search programs or search topics via keywords. Thank you to Peter in the UK for setting that up. Also want to encourage you to check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, which we update regularly with news stories as well as blog posts. Thank you to Robert Lundgren, who does such a good job at pharmacistben.com. So you got three main websites, pharmacistben.com for my blog, and also for news stories. We've got brightsideben.com with longevity information and videos, etc. And then we also have Ben Fuchs Archive, or benfuchsarchives.com with a search engine. All the programs up with a search engine as well. Okay, a couple more things I want to say here about anti-inflammation and inflammation. And prostaglandin balance is really what mediates this anti-inflammation and inflammation balance in the body. There's prostaglandins that are associated with inflammation, and there's prostaglandins that are associated with anti-inflammation. And even though we beat up on the inflammatory process as being the core, the root of all disease, it's really not inflammation as much as it's excessive inflammation, as much as it's long-term chronic inflammation, as much as it's inflammation that's out of balance with anti-inflammation that is the problem. Inflammation is really important. It's how the body protects itself. It's what initiates the healing process. The inflammatory process, in a way, is more important than the anti-inflammatory process, at least from a survival perspective. And the prostaglandins that are associated with the inflammatory process are derived from a different EFA, a different essential fatty acid, than the prostaglandins that are derived from derived from anti-inflammatory essential fatty acids. And this is really important. It's a balance of inflammatory omegas and anti-inflammatory omegas, inflammatory essential fatty acids balanced with anti-inflammatory essential fatty acids that is so important when it comes to supplementation. And as it should come as no surprise for you to know that our excessive intake of pro-inflammatory omega fatty acids or essential fatty acids with pro-inflammatory omegas that contain pro-inflammatory omegas is really, at least some nutritionists believe, at the root of much of our inflammatory disease health crisis. We will tell you about that tomorrow as we continue talking about essential fatty acids and prostaglandins and master hormones or autocrine hormones, as they are technically called, on our next Bright Side episode. That'll be tomorrow. So tune in. You're going to want to tune into that if you're interested in learning more about inflammation and anti-inflammation, and how to use your essential fatty acids, and also how to use GLA effectively for inflammatory health issues, especially skin inflammatory issues like eczema and acne. We'll talk about that tomorrow on The Bright Side. Time to hit our phones. 855-660-4261 is our number. Let's go to Mary in Michigan. Welcome to The Bright Side. What's going on, Mary?
Well, thank you, Ben, and I really want to thank you for everything you're doing. I've learned so much from you. You're
thank
just,
you.
I don't know what I'd be doing without you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I have got a heart arrhythmia.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not just skipping a beat. It's really jumping.
Are they drugging you? Are they drugging you out?
I don't know what that means.
Are you on drugs? Are you on blood thinner?
No.
Okay. Sometimes they'll put you on blood thinners.
No.
Okay, good. Good. The major treatments for these heartbeat issues are beta blockers, which shut down your heart, poison the hearts, and then sometimes they'll give you blood thinners to keep you from having a stroke. However, heartbeat issues need to be regarded as a short circuit. The heart is an electrical system. It's really amazing how the heart works to pump out a billion times in a lifetime. It's mind-blowing, really, and it all involves electrical energy. Now, it's not any different, really. Having heartbeat issues is not any different than having any other health challenge, in the sense that you're looking at inflammation, you're looking at nutritional deficiencies, and you're looking at an imbalance. So let's get to the chase here. Let's cut to the chase.
Okay.
It's really easy.
Can I ask you if you have had a heart attack, would that...
Doesn't matter.
It wouldn't matter.
No, well, a heart attack you may have some dead tissue in there, and that's going to also affect how the electrical energy proceeds, but it doesn't matter in terms of what you're going to be doing to prevent this from happening. Okay. So first and foremost, you want to regard electrical conductivity issues in the heart as a sign that some kind of burden on the body. Something is stressing the body out. Now, if you hold your breath, which is a major stressor on the body, if you hold your breath too long and you rob it of oxygen, you'll notice that your heart's going to start to freak out. And that's a classic sign, that's a classic example of how the stress response is related to conductivity, electrical conductivity issues in the heart. That's just for you to observe or to notice the relationship between stress, physiologic stress, and the heartbeat and electrical conductivity. So you're probably not holding your breath. You're probably not sitting there holding your breath, right? But you're probably doing it a little bit. When we're under...
I'm trying to practice the deep breathing you've been talking about. I mean, I've been following everything you've been saying. So
well, hang tight. Let me finish up here, okay? Let me finish up here. So you're probably not sitting there on the couch holding your breath, but you probably are holding your breath slightly, or at least experiencing shallow breathing when you're under stress. This is one of the ways that we deal with stress, is we hold our breath. In fact, you'll notice before something dramatic, like something's about to fall. If you're looking at your kitchen counter and a cup is about to fall, you'll notice if something as benign as watching your glass about to break is going to cause you to hold your breath. You'll go like this, like that. You ever make that sound like that? Okay? That's a sign of how we hold our breath when we're under stress. If you, God forbid, if you're about to get into a car wreck, one of the first things that's going to happen right before the accident is you're going to go like this. I don't want you to imagine getting in a car wreck, but anybody out there who knows that there's a holding the breath response that occurs right before we're stressed. And this will happen in response to thoughts as well. So you got to be able to watch out for when your breathing becomes shallow or when you're holding your breath, and then you want to start you want to reverse that, and you want to, with volition and with will and with attention, with consciousness, practice slow, deep breathing at those times. In addition to the 2 minutes a day that you're spending on the couch, slow, deep breathing as an exercise, whenever you notice you're holding your breath, you want to turn that into an opportunity to deep breathe. That's step number one. Step number two is going to be to eliminate the entrance of any toxicity into the body, and sugar is a major toxin. After the small amount of sugar that we need to run our brain and run some of our cells, excessive sugar is a major toxin, and that will put a super stress on the heart. So keeping your sugar intake down, replace calories from sugar with protein and with essential fatty acids, as well as butter and coconut oil. The more fat and the more protein you eat, the easier it's going to be to wean yourself off of these foods that can mess up conductivity in the heart. That's the second thing. The third thing is you want to start to take in electrical nutrients that are electrical, and there's lots of them. Are you on the Healthy Start Pack, Mary?
I am doing the BTT.
BTT. Stay on the BTT, and you may want to double your dose. Make sure you're sipping on it. Start to make sure you're on the essential fatty acids, which are also electrical. Magnesium is also very, very important for the heart. It's an electrical mineral. Make sure you're on the Beyond OsteoFX. You might want to throw in some coenzyme Q10, 100 milligrams or so of coenzyme Q10. Make sure it's the oil-soluble capsule. And then I'd probably be throwing in coenzyme Q10's cousin or relative, which is vitamin E, 400 international units of vitamin E a day. Okay. Two more things I want to tell you about, so hang tight, don't go away. I'll finish up with Mary when we get back, when we come back from our break, and then we'll hopefully get to all our calls as well. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. All right, we're talking to Mary in Michigan on The Bright Side. Mary, I'm going to go a little quickly here, okay, because I got a bunch of calls I want to get to. So number one, slow, deep breathing. Number two, if you got any digestive issues, link those to foods and eliminate those foods. That's so important. That. Okay, well, you still got an issue, so something's missing here. I do. All right, well, let me keep going here with some nutritional supplements. The BTT, keep doing that. Sip on it. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine is loaded with the B complex, which are your electrical conductivity vitamins. Cells conduct electrical energy using the B vitamins. Make sure you're getting lots of them. Fresh vegetable juices is also a good source of the B complex. Any fresh veggies. Any fresh veggies will help you. And then the BTT, as I say. A couple other things that could be important in addition to coenzyme Q10 and vitamin E, which we talked about before we went to break. Arginine is very important for the heart, and taurine is also really important for conductivity issues. They put it in Red Bull for that reason. What was that one? It's called taurine, Taurine. Get yourself about 200 milligrams to 300 milligrams a day as a supplement. It comes in 100 milligram capsules, so 2 or 3 of those a day. I'd be using some vitamin A. 20,000 international units a day of vitamin A as well. And then there's a really interesting kind of amino acid sort of substance that we don't talk about a lot, but we probably should, and it's called carnitine. You probably heard of that. Okay. And there's different types of carnitine, but you want to at least maybe 500 to 1,000 milligrams of carnitine every day. 500 milligrams of carnitine is probably a good idea. Anywhere from 100 to 1,000 milligrams, but 500 milligrams is a good idea of carnitine. There's a carnitine that's blended with arginine. It's a little pricey, but you might want to try that, or just get plain old L-carnitine and see how you do. And last, but most certainly not least, potassium and sodium balance is extremely important. Excessive sodium can cause arrhythmias and heartbeat problems. Use the Swear V, which is a wonderful way to get a sodium-potassium balance. If you haven't tried the Swear V, I fasted on it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Did a 3-day fast just using the Swear V, and it wasn't not hard at all, and I lost 8 pounds or so. The Swear V is an amazing, amazing supplement. It's not really a supplement, it's a food, but it does have an easy-to-absorb sodium and potassium balance, and that might be something else to try. I did say magnesium. The OsteoFX, Beyond OsteoFX is also going to be helpful. I'm sorry, one real quick, because I want to get to some more calls here. Real quick, Mary.
Well, I just wanted to know if I were to email you what I should put in the headline, because I need to talk to you about being so cold all the time. And well,
you got lots of problems. You got lots of stuff happening. Thyroid's probably involved.
I talked to you last year, and it helped so much.
Okay, we'll do it again. We'll give you another consult again. Send an email. Put Mary from Michigan in the heading, Ben at ksco.com. I'm going to let you go, Mary. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. God bless. Have a beautiful day. Okay, David in California. What is up, my friend?
Hi, Ben. How are you?
Doing good. What's going on?
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
I have a friend, 82 years old.
Okay.
And she is just consulting a surgeon for hip replacement.
Yeah, well, they make a lot of money with hip replacements. Now, I'm not saying she doesn't need one. I don't know her case, and she's 82, and if she's got 8 decades of bad living, she may need a hip replacement.
Well, actually, she's other than Premarin, I don't even know what that is. That's all she takes.
Well, Premarin will shut down her, it'll affect bones, and that's not a great medicine, pregnant mare urine. It's a derivative of horse piss, if you will. I think I can say that. Horse urine, and they extract the estrogen out of the horse, and they give it to people. That's clever. So anyway, pregnant mare urine, that's what Premarin is. So in any case, building up tissue is what you want to look at. Number one, always correct digestive issues, because if you don't, and at 82, chances are she's not processing her foods and nutrients correctly. And if you're not, it doesn't matter what you take. So you got to make sure that she's processing her nutrients correctly, and that means patching up the digestive system, using the Biolumin Nightly Essence. She can try the Swear V and the Amasai also, which are tasty ways to restore digestive health. The Ultimate Enzymes are also going to be helpful for a couple of reasons. Number one, they'll help her process her nutrients. And number two, they have anti-inflammatory properties also if you take them on an empty stomach. So use the Ultimate Enzymes after meals, as well as in the middle of the day on an empty stomach. And then A little apple cider vinegar will be helpful. Glucosamine can be really helpful for all building needs, and that includes skin building and cartilage building and bone building and building anything, really. Use the glucogel caps, and then take the glucogel caps with the digestive enzymes and after meals, and that will help the absorption. And whenever you use the glucogel caps, you want to make sure you're getting enough vitamin C. Vitamin C and glucosamine work hand in hand. That'll be your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. So the Healthy Start Pack, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, the Swear V products, those can be helpful too. Correct digestive issues with digestive enzymes and eliminating problem foods, that's also going to be important. And make sure she's getting enough protein and essential fatty acids. Those are your prime building nutrients along with vitamin A and zinc. I'd be using 20,000 international units of vitamin A every day, along with the entire Healthy Start Pack, 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate a day, along with the entire Healthy Start Pack, and then making sure she's getting enough protein. The ultimate EFAs, EFA pluses can be helpful. GLA, as we've been talking, can be helpful. And then making sure she's got a good source of protein consistently throughout the day. Eggs, whey, seafood, if she can handle those. The Slender FX, if she can handle that. And sometimes protein's a little tricky because it's a little hard to process. But whatever kinds of protein foods she can take in and protein supplements she can take in is going to be in her interest to help rebuild. Even if she has her hip surgery, all of these can help her recover from her hip surgery, in addition to a couple other things. I'll tell you, vitamin E, because of its anti-inflammatory properties, 400 international units a day of vitamin E. And then alpha-lipoic acid. I love this stuff. Super important for inflammation. We'll be talking about that one in the next few days. Lots of good stuff there for you, David. Even if your friend does a little bit of that, she's going to notice a significant difference. And I got to move on. I want to get to some more calls.
Thank you, Ben. I recorded. I got it all.
Good deal. God bless. Have a beautiful day, my friend. Okay, Patrick in Texas. How you doing, buddy? What's going on?
Hi, Ben. I was going to ask about my girlfriend. She is taking antidepressants. It seems to be helping, but she's always mentioned that, she wanted to do something
more natural.
She could get off them. If she could get off them, she would.
Yeah,
and I know nutrition that you can do foods that will
absolutely
help with serotonin.
Absolutely. I'll tell you some nutrients that not only will help her wean off of her antidepressant meds, but it'll help her antidepressant meds work better and reduce her side effects, even if she decides to stay on her antidepressant meds. By the way, what's she on? What do you know?
I have no. I never got a chance to look at the label.
Okay, but, no worries. No worries. Here's how you deal with it. Number one, depression is a sign of long-term chronic stress that has been turned inward. That's what depression means. It's when we just can't deal with our lives or whatever stress they are, and we turn that stress energy, sometimes anger, inwards. In fact, underneath depression, you'll often find anger, and underneath anger, you'll often find fear. And it goes fear, anger, depression in that order. So really, in terms of nutrition, I'm going to give you some great ideas, but you want to get to what's causing the anger and what's causing the fear. And it's understandable in this crazy world we live in that underneath depression, you're going to find anger and fear. There's a lot to be angry about, and there's a lot to be scared about. We're encouraged to be scared. We're encouraged to feel like our survival is threatened. We have structured a society, elites who benefit off our misery, like a vampire, like predators that they are, have structured a culture where we feel like our survival is at stake at every turn. And it's easy to get angry about that, and then it's easy to get depressed about that. So dealing with those kinds of issues is important. And one day, soon, hopefully, I'll be doing a radio program where we just talk about mental and emotional and spiritual strategies, because to me, that's really at the heart of physical ailment: spiritual, mental, emotional, and then physical. So leave that aside for now, although that needs to be addressed. Slow, deep breathing can help with depression because of its ability to help calm the body down and put the body into a more relaxed mode, a more antidepressed mode, if you will. So slow, deep breathing is important. Then from a nutritional standpoint, stand away from foods that spike blood sugar is very, very important, because when blood sugar spikes, the body's instantaneous response is to yank the sugar out of the blood, causing low blood sugar, which can easily cause depression. So making sure she's not spiking her blood sugar or self-medicating with sweet foods, with blood sugar spiking foods. A lot of times people will do that for the energy buzz or jolt that they get. Soda pop is a big culprit. Caffeine can be a problem as well. Anything that spikes blood sugar or hypes the body up can be a problem. Using blood sugar stabilizing nutrients like the sweeties can be helpful. And then also for all depression needs, you want to think B vitamins. I said the B vitamins were your energizing vitamins, and they are, but they're also the brain vitamins. B for brain vitamins. Any brain issues or emotional issues, think B vitamins. In fact, niacin, for example, has been used to treat social anxiety disorder, anxiety issues. Niacin deficiency is associated with mental health issues like schizophrenia and autism and even depression. So high doses of the B vitamins, including injections of vitamin B12, might be something that she wants to think about. You'll get your B vitamins in the Beyond Tangerine. Have her sipping on that. Other nutrients that are important for brain health, in addition to the B vitamins, include the electrolytes, all the electrolytes, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sodium. And as I was talking to Mary, our last caller, sodium-potassium balance is very important. Have her using the Swear V, sipping on that throughout the day, as well as the Beyond Tangerine, sipping on that throughout the day. And last, but most certainly not least, or two last things I should say, magnesium has antidepressant properties, and also essential fatty acids, majorly antidepressant. The balance is going to be important. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the bright side. Patrick, that's all the time we have for today. So I gotta let you go, and I'm sorry if we left you on hold. That's why I always say call in early on the program. If I left you on hold, give us a call tomorrow. Tell our call screener we left you on hold, and we'll get you first up. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You've been listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. Have yourselves a wonderful, spectacular, awesome day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.